So the biggest problem with life, and the reason most people are broke, and this is the answer to the final answer to the question for the 9 to 5. The reason anyone is broke in the Western world today is because they are one of three things. They are either lazy, they are arrogant, or they are stupid. And if you're broke, you are one of those three things. I don't care what excuse you try and fucking give me. You're going to have to choose which one you are. Because if you're none of those three things, it's impossible to remain poor in the modern world, in the West. There is so much money. I'm going to rub it in for all the brokies quickly. There is so much fucking money in the world. I want you to, when you drive down a street, go to London, drive down a street. Every building's worth what? 20 million, 50 million, 100 million. If someone owns all this shit, right? That hotel's $1 billion hotel. That fucking restaurant's worth 15 million. You can take a taxi ride and drive past £1 trillion fucking pounds. Who owns all that shit? People own all of this, right? There's so much money in the world. During COVID, when everyone was complaining that they went broke, I made so much fucking money. You would not believe the amount of money I made. The amount of money that's traveling around and floating around the planet is ridiculous. We're talking about inflation being out of control. It's because they're printing trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars. It has to go somewhere. Now, they try their very best to keep it amongst the elites, and they do that. But if you're anywhere near the elite, you get money, right? If there's a rainstorm, all you have to do is walk outside, you're going to get wet. The difference between me and everyone else is I know where the door is to walk outside. Everyone else is just fucking floundering around the room, looking on the floor for pennies, like a jackass, right? There's so much money. It's so easy to make money in the world today. It truly is. And the reason if you're poor and you're remaining poor is because you're either lazy, arrogant, or stupid. So we'll talk about those three things. The first thing is lazy, which I've already discussed. I believe 99.9% of the people I've interacted with in my life are lazy. And when I say lazy, I mean it in the genuine term of the word. They're lazy. They think that they come up with bullshit like work-life balance and, well, there's no point working if you don't enjoy yourself and all this other fucking shit. And they remain lazy. And the problem is that the world we live in is player versus player. If you go play Call of Duty, right? It's PvP. You want to live, you got to kill that guy.
Yep.
He's some fucking 14-year-old in Singapore. He might he loses one more game. Don't care. Sniped. Boom. See ya. Had a nice life. Tangent. You're gone. That's how it works. Player versus player.
This is the most knowledge I've ever heard being dropped on this podcast, man. It's fucking nuts. I'm going to walk away from this fucking thing and we sat there in the Uber on the way home.
Bro got sniped in
I'm not going to...
It's a harsh reality.
Tangent in Singapore is done.
He's finished.
So, but it's player versus player, right?
Yeah.
Now, I would like to believe in a world where you don't have to wake up and think about the money. Where you don't have to wake up and think about the bag. You don't have to wake up and think, how do I get paid? Where instead you could wake up and think, I want to enjoy my time. I want to spend time with my family, et cetera, et cetera. But the problem is it's player versus player. There are people like me. There are sharks in the ocean. If you want to stay a fish, you're going to fucking lose. There are people like me who wake up and think, fuck it. I want more. Don't give a shit. I already have everything I could ever think of. I already have enough money to buy everything I could ever dream of. I can't even think of anything on the planet I want. Don't care. I want more so I can take it from others. There are people like me that exist, and you have to compete against people like me. It's player versus player. So when I say lazy, my entire life is work. And when I say that, people think that's depressing. No, it's not. It's not depressing. I love it. Every single thing I do is work. When I go to the gym, it's so I'm in fantastic shape, so I can call everyone a brokey, and they don't want to come up to me on the street because I know I'll fuck them up. Work. When I come here and do a podcast and have a nice conversation with you gentlemen, work. I'm making money in between, work. When I'm it's work. So that when me and her go to the club, she behaves herself with all the other girlfriends around because she knows Big D. You understand? It's all work. Life is work. Existence is work. If I'm awake, I'm working. Every single thing I do is conscious. It's all done on purpose. Now, we're going to finish this podcast. I don't know what you guys are going to do afterwards. But you could certainly film 10 podcasts in a row if you wanted to, but you won't because you're fucking lazy. That is the truth. You can be the biggest podcast in the world. You refuse because you want to.
We're on that way.
No,
we're on that way.
Go home. You're not allowed to go home. Only work.
No.
There's nothing else. You have to outcompete everybody.
It's smart work.
No.
That's the work.
No. We're going to get on to smart work in a second, my friend. Now, smart work.
10 podcasts in a row is a waste of fucking time. No, it's not even not doable. It's just not. Just putting out 10 fucking podcasts is stupid.
You think I won't film 10 podcasts in a fucking row?
That's an L. If you film 10, that's an L for you. Because
no, it's not.
Because how are you going to talk about recent?
Matter. You can delay them. It doesn't matter.
But the content you talk about won't be relevant in 10 weeks' time when you put it out.
But you can talk about evergreen subjects, about the fact that the Matrix is here to enslave us all.
Nobody No, not about that. But no one can. What I'm saying is, they want to hear about the latest and the greatest.
I understand.
So we have to talk about that.
My point, the point I'm trying to make is, smart work or intelligent work is something that most people use to hide and disguise their laziness. And I'll tell you why.
So I understand what he's saying. What he's saying is right. But I would like to point this out. By extension, I would like to point this out. A lot of people in this world, they are not really lazy. I guess you can call them lazy as well, because at the end of the day, there are a lot of men out there that if you tell them to do X, Y, Z, they are ready to put their all in to make sure it works. But the thing is, they don't even know what to do. So when you don't know what to do, there's no way you can put in your all. You understand? So sometimes that's the problem. A lot of people want to be rich, but they don't exactly know what they want to do. So some people even have the money, but they don't even know what they want to invest on. So that could also be a problem. You can't call that lazy, because in a world like this, you have to make sure you meet people. Meeting people is very, very important, because with meeting people, you get ideas of what they are investing on, and you can also invest on those things, or what they are working on, and you can also work on those things. But in general, I don't think people are naturally lazy. But they find themselves in circumstances that there's nothing they can do, then they just, naturally become lazy. You understand me? So I think that's also, being arrogant too, because being arrogant could also prevent you from meeting the right people that you want to meet. There's a lot of problem people have nowadays is because they want to be the number one guy. There's nothing wrong in working under someone to build a company. You can build company with someone. They might be the lead head, but at the end of the day, you still have enough to take care of yourself and your family. You understand? Do you think Dangote is the one controlling the factory? He's not the general manager. He has a manager, he has a supervisor, he has this. Those people, I can guarantee you, those people are working really hard and they are doing well for themselves. They are buying houses in Lekki, they are buying houses in Banana Island. Guess what? Dangote is who they are working for. So you can become the number 2 guy and still become anything you want to become in this world. You don't always have to be the number 1 guy. And I feel like a lot of times people forget and want to be the number 1 guy. Not all of us, everyone is not created to be the alpha, to be leaders. Some people are created to follow, to help, create the path, arrange everything. But everybody just want to be leaders. So that's why people quit their jobs to want to, to start up their own company, and I can tell you 95% of those people, they often fail, because guess what? You are not a born leader. You are not a born leader. You understand? You are I just feel like, people just do what you want to do. Put yourself out there. Make sure you mingle with people a lot. Make sure you put yourself in a situation whereby you can find something happening for yourself. So that will be all for today. Thank you for watching this video. If you'd like to watch more of this video, make sure you subscribe, like, and share.